Good morning to you.
It's a good morning. It's Tuesday already. How is the fast coming?
Yeah, well, it's now part and parcel of one's daily life.
Right.
So much so that after the end of the fast, you still feel like you're still fasting.
Right.
Well, for those of us who are quite religious, we still have 6 after the end of the compulsory fasting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's called Sittu Shawwal, so it's just like you'll be rewarded as if you fasted a year. The 6 after the 30.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've learned something this morning. Anyway, today we have an array of issues. We'll be looking at the matter of the UK immigration laws and how it's affecting Nigerians who are there, especially those who are caregivers and in the health sector. And then we're also going to look at the matter of the school children who are handed over, basically talking about security around schools as it is, now that the government is looking at improving on it. But then we'll begin with this story that has to do with the Office of the National Security Advisor saying that they have confirmed, rather, that Binance executive Nadeem Anjarwalla, who is a suspect in the ongoing criminal probe into the activities of Binance in Nigeria, has escaped from custody on Friday. The office, in conjunction with relevant security agencies, MDAs, and international community, upon receiving the report, took immediate steps to apprehend the suspect. It is also confirmed, rather, that security agencies are working with Interpol for an arrest warrant on the suspect. Preliminary investigation shows that Mr. Anjarwalla fled Nigeria using a smuggled passport. The personnel responsible for the custody of the suspect have been arrested. The federal government of Nigeria, like other governments around the world, have been investigating money laundering and terrorism financing transactions perpetrated on the Binance currency exchange platform. Now, this matter has generated reactions since yesterday when it became news that Anjarwalla had escaped arrest. It is reported that he said he wanted to go and pray, and those who were guarding him escorted him to a nearby mosque where he was held in a safe house, as it is being reported, but some others are saying it's a guest house. And so he said that he wanted to go and pray, and in the process, he escaped. How he evaded security, that the security personnel did not see him while he left them, why he was allowed to go and pray, knowing that he is a person of interest, if he couldn't pray in the guest house, is a question that a lot of Nigerians have been asking, why he was allowed to even step outside, knowing that there is an interest and that he is being questioned and investigations were going on. And the other matter was that is being spoken about is a matter of why wasn't he placed on a watch list, such that immigration and every other agency is alerted that this person is a person of interest, and in case he gets to immigration, he gets to the airport, he gets anywhere, you arrest him. All of these are the questions, because he went through the airport, nothing happened. And it's just a sad development, really, knowing that this is a very serious matter that we are trying to get to the root of, and he just slipped through our fingers, just like that.
Well, sometimes, one can easily connect the dots, but at the time you feel like the dots are just not connecting, because it beats me to hear that someone who is of interest was able to leave the shores of the country, not going through the land borders, but going through the airport. So it's just, I don't know how to put it. I don't know which word to qualify it with. Just like you said, if he said he was going to pray, one, as a Muslim, you can also pray, especially with that kind of confinement that you are into. You can pray within the house. It's compulsory for a man to go to mosque, but then at that time, it should
with the condition,
allowed to leave the guest house. And why was he even in the guest house in the first place? Why was he not with the DSS? Why was he not with the EFCC? It's not that they are going to incarcerate him. They have special places,
the facility
where they can keep him. So I believe that this thing is not, it beats my imagination, but it's not beyond the ordinary, because someone must have been very complicit. Fine, U.S. Diplomatic, what's it called? They're saying that they should apply some diplomacy in order to secure his release and all of that. If U.S. is interested, because they said it breaks international law for them to have, held him, for some time. But the only thing is that how he left, the smuggled passport. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. The smuggled passport that he used.
The guest house.
So it means that this person is a person of interest, but then we do not have his name or his faces, maybe on the wanted list, or the information, the data about him is not shared.
Yes, that's why I mentioned earlier that he wasn't on the watch list.
Exactly. So it means that what we've been hearing along the line is just media trial. It's just noise in the media. No concrete thing has been put in place to ensure that whoever is on the watch list or whoever is a person of interest is not allowed to leave the country, because it doesn't speak well of our country. It's just like it's a shame, on the security apparatus that we have in this country. How can someone of that interest be able to leave the country? So now that also confirms the fact that the way we are having influx of people, terrorists, and some other people that are, dangerous elements coming into the country freely, and then also leaving the country freely after committing some sort of atrocities. So this begs the question: exactly what are we doing to secure the country first and also our borders, let alone someone living, through the airwaves?
Obviously, it shows some level of complicity, and then it means that when he was held in that guest house, there were no restrictions, so to speak. So if the passport was brought in as a parcel, nobody would open it to say, okay, we need to check what he is getting to ensure that it is not something that could compromise the security around where we are and what we are after as it is. Nobody checked. Is that what we are saying? Is it that nobody monitors what he does? Who he speaks with means he can just receive calls and nobody is monitoring his conversation. Nothing is going on. Is that what we are saying? That doesn't sit right. So it doesn't sound right.
Those who are meant to watch over him, to keep him in custody, they should be asked. They have a lot of questions to answer. Probably they have compromised. I'm just saying, allegedly, they must have compromised, because this is clear compromise. I watched a former director of the DSS, saying that, clearly it's a clear compromise. So
absolutely, he couldn't have been able to do this if there was no compromise in the first place.
Definitely. So those who are meant to watch over him and how he went through the airport and all of that, all of the levels, the layers of people he would definitely come in contact with, how he was able to escape, they should be taken, they should be arrested, interrogated, and if
they have been arrested,
they should definitely be, they should make sure that the strong arms of the law, is used against them, because it's an embarrassment, situation for the country.
A huge one, as it is, where the Office of the National Security Advisor, who is supposed to be handling this matter, such an issue just slips through. It doesn't sound right as it is. Just as a majority of Nigerians are speaking, it also goes to show how we are handling matters of security. Because how you do one thing, as it is often said, is a reflection of how you do every other thing. But wherever the mistakes might have been, I think that we need to begin to hold people to account, and it must be seen that these persons are being held to account.
Definitely.
Such that we get to the root of the matter, because talking about matters of tax evasion, allowing, like we mentioned, to be used for terrorism financing.
On top of that, we just had a list of terrorism
These are critical issues
being published by the federal government. These are very, very serious issues.
These are critical issues that we must get to the root of the matter, and not just the branches and every other thing. We'll leave the conversation here now and bring